Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Combat Craig, and today we're talking about Nexus letters. What is a Nexus letter? If you're new around here, welcome into our Mary channel. Type new in the comments or in the live chat so I could say hi and welcome. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like learning about veterans benefits and VA claims, please consider subscribing to the channel. No pressure. Hit the thumbs up button if you're watching this now. That would be helpful. And feel free to ask your questions. I'll be doing a Q&A after I get through my presentation here. And if you really want your question answered, you can send me a super chat by clicking the little $ icon. It's kind of a weird, I should show it, but underneath the chat, there's a little $ icon underneath the chat box. Best way to get those questions take priority. So, Nexus letters. I think I'd like to start off by saying Nexus letters are something you're going to have to pay for. You're sitting here contemplating, why should I have to pay a doctor for a Nexus letter? So if that's the mode that you're in, you're currently losing money because your claim, you're at 10 or 20%, you're trying to get to 100 or whatever. You're losing money, potentially thousands of dollars a month, by not taking action and getting the Nexus letter. So don't let the money part get in the way. You're going to have to get a private doctor, most likely, and pay them for a Nexus letter. Just the way the game works. Be nice if it wasn't like that. It'd be nice if the world was completely different in a lot of ways. So those are the main 2 points. They do cost money, and your inactivity is costing you money. I guess that's my point. So a nexus is essentially a link between 2 or more things. So the purpose of a nexus letter is to clearly connect a veteran's current medical condition to another service-connected condition or to circumstances that related to active duty service. So basically, that your current disability, well, you may not know this, you need to have a problem. Like right now, you need to have symptoms. Symptoms are, you know what the symptoms are, but for the purpose of VA claims and any kind of claim, symptoms come from a doctor. You go to the doctor, he gives you a diagnosis, and then he's documenting your symptoms and the severity of them. So you need to have that first, and then if you believe that it is linked to your active duty service in a direct service connection, presumptive service connection, or a secondary service connection basis, that doctor or a doctor is going to need to make that link for you. So that is essentially what a Nexus letter is. Do people win VA claims without Nexus letters? Yeah, I'm sure they win them all the time. Do they get jammed up because they didn't get a Nexus? Yeah, if you think about it, if you file a claim and you're like, well, I have migraines, and you don't provide a diagnosis, the VA didn't give you one, you don't explain what your migraines are connected to, you just, the migraines suck and, it causes me to lay down and crawl into dark spots. That's you, and that's good for a personal statement, but is not a medical opinion, and the VA will not look at it as a medical opinion. So it's good to get a doctor. This is why it's so important to get these Nexus letters from a doctor, because that's all they can come from, right? So I see the chat rocking and rolling. Not really seeing anything that I can hop into the screen, so I'm going to keep on rolling. Thumbs up. How many people we got going on here so far? 47, 26 thumbs up. Awesome. So let's talk about, what kind of claims require a Nexus letter. All secondary conditions or conditions caused by military exposure or circumstances that are not included on the presumptive list should have a Nexus letter. So if you have a presumptive claim, an Agent Orange claim, by the way, Blue Water Navy veterans, they're actually paying you guys. That is a presumptive condition. if you're on a ship 12 miles off the coast. So they're finally starting to break it off, and they're paying billions. Good. They should be paying our veterans. So if you don't have a presumptive, if you don't have something on the presumptive list and you're filing a secondary claim, you're going to need to explain how your current symptoms are linked to your active duty service. That's the whole purpose of the Nexus. So research this, Google it, pound it into your head, keep watching videos, whatever you got to do to understand and wrap your head around the concept of a Nexus. If you don't have a clear Nexus, the VA is not going to find it. The duty to assist is not going to work. I mean, they can't even add 1 + 1 = what? I mean, it's not that bad, but VA math, I'm 100% permanent and total. But if you use normal math, it's like 190%. So they can't even add properly. How the hell are they going to find a link between your current symptoms and your active duty service if you don't paint it for them? So, the VA is required by law to have a clear, and definitive proof between the two, your current condition and your active duty service. So if you don't have that, you're going to get either, it'll be claim denied, not service connected. And that's it. There's no nexus establishing your condition was caused or made worse by active duty service. So for secondary conditions, these are conditions caused by other conditions. A nexus letter must clearly detail how the current condition was caused by the original. Secondary conditions are money. But nexuses are crucial in secondary claims. So let's say while in service, you broke a bone in your left leg and it never healed properly, right? You separated from the military. Broken bone was determined to be service-connected, and you got a 10% lowball rating from the VA. Meh, right? It's a pretty common rating, by the way. 10 years later, the veteran is diagnosed with degenerative arthritis in the left knee. Because there's plenty medical studies to show that injuries in a limb can cause wear and tear on the joints in that limb, it's medically logical that the arthritis was caused by the broken bone, right? Medically logical, you're feeling the pain. You don't need logic. You know it's happening because it's like going on in your body. But you need to prove this. The burden of proof is on the veteran, always, 100% of the time. You have to prove this. Veteran-friendly environment exists, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to go proving things for you. The burden of proof is on you. So you need to get your physician to write a nexus letter. So let's talk about some of these physicians. PAs can write nexus letters. Nurse practitioners can write nexus letters, and MDs can write nexus letters. So it's really more of a medical professional thing versus like doctor. But your VA doctor could write a nexus letter. They won't. And I'm not saying they haven't. It's happened before, but they don't and they won't. Your private doctor, he may, want to help you. He may be veteran friendly or something. But the reality is he gets paid. You got your insurance company or your Medicare or your Medicaid or whatever. And, he gets paid to see you for 10 minutes and interact with you. And then, all right, cool, write a few notes and leave. Going into writing a nexus letter, it's just really not in his wheelhouse. This is way more likely than a VA doctor doing it, but just letting you know, he's not getting paid extra to write a nexus letter. So you're going to have to find a doctor that will do this, and it costs money. In cases of mental health disorders like PTSD, a nexus letter can help connect the disorder to the event or circumstance related to the military service that caused the disorder. So it's important to be able to show that the military service was the main cause of the disorder. A clear nexus detailing the circumstances that triggered the symptoms will be crucial if minimal or non-existent medical records exist. Let me use my combat PTSD claim as an example. It's on my DD 214, so it says I'm a combat veteran. Um, I did fear for my life. I did have an adjustment disorder slapped on me, and my work performance went from, yeah, I'm not going to say I was like a kick-ass airman, but I was a getting kicked out airman. Like it just literally February 1991, downhill, got kicked out. I was out by September. So that shows how it affected me. You know, the circumstances around how I got a general discharge are kind of irrelevant. But this all happened, and if the VA was working, they probably could have seen, hey, you got kicked out, you're in combat, you have an adjustment disorder. You know, maybe you had some. Maybe the military caused that. You know, maybe it just wasn't all you. But, you know, the big VA hug, oh, come here, veteran, when you get out, let's hook you up. That doesn't happen. So you're going to need a board certified psychologist, which is what I went and hired. And and he was able to diagnose me with PTSD, talk about the severity of my symptoms, and more importantly, the Nexus. Even though the Nexus is there, it was just undeniable, and I never even got a CNP exam for that. And by the way, I use VA Claims Insider, so that's who I use. That's who I recommend. You can use a million different organizations to help you out. Heads up, it's all going to cost you money one way or another. If you hire a lawyer to do something and they lag on you for 3 years, that's costing you money. You may get back pay, but it's costing you mental health issues too. VSO that doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't care, they're getting paid too. So everybody's making money too. So that's just kind of another main point. VA claims, Nexus letters, everything. Everybody's making money off of us. So don't be under the illusion that there's like free stuff. Somebody's getting paid somewhere. Obtaining a Nexus letter. In more straightforward cases, a single Nexus letter from a strong source, a specialist in the area question, like a psychologist, in the case of a mental health deal, will be enough. Sometimes, and this happens a lot, right? TBI, you name them. You have complex issues. So you might need to have multiple Nexus letters because you have crossover things. The psychologist can speak to the mental health aspect of it, but somebody else, like a rheumatologist, needs to speak to the chronic fatigue syndrome, or a podiatrist needs to speak to the flat feet, plantar fasciitis. So you might need more than one. You might need a combination of Nexus letters just to throw curveballs at you guys. But have a basic understanding of what you're doing. It's your claim. Nobody cares about your claim other than you. So all these doctors and stuff, like whatever, pay them money. It's a transaction. Write it up for me, doc. Is this going to be enough, doc? Do I get a refund, doc? That's the extent of it. And then you move on to the next phase. So 76 people on right now. I'm going to pop over and see how my boy Clyde's doing. Got the Clyde cam on. Clyde, you're not very active. Clyde, do a song and dance or something. Hmm? There's a lot of people watching you right now, Clyde. Very disappointing. All right, let's hop over. I do have a sample Nexus letter, but before I go into that, let me just blow through a few. Not blow through. Let me see if I can get a few questions. What's up, James, Bill, B-Ray, Beauty Starts Within, Billy Bob, Austin Williams, Panama City Beach Bum, Bad Yeti, Mark, AJ, Cecil, Marco is new. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, this channel grows by you guys engaging with the live chats. I guess I'm just the live chat Combat Craig now. This is kind of fun. And now we got a super chat. So let me see if I can even put it up. Thanks for the $9.99 super chat, homeboy. Nexus just means that a doctor, based on what you have on paper, buddy statements, family, before and after, continuity of care, right verbiage, and right specialists, put in time and effort. And I know personally that Claims Jedi Master has spent quite a few thousands of dollars on Nexus letters. Do not be afraid to invest in your future. Going back up. Yeah, Leo. Leo with the 5.0. Roll in with my 5.0. Rolling in by 5.0. Hair is down, or what is it? Top is down, so my hair can blow. Like that kind of 5.0. Yeah, hit upcoming video topics. I'm all about those. A lot of you guys do suggest video topics. Um, if it's something that I can't just make a good video on, I usually don't talk about it. But I'm always open. Thanks for the remember to like and share. Yeah, I am cranking them out lately. Somebody might be able to help you with the question about gout, but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess and say yes. But guess what? You're going to need a Nexus letter. Good question. So a Nexus is a statement, and I'm going to go over the likelihoods of the statements. But yeah, usually the Nexus is in an independent medical opinion. So they do kind of live together. Usually it's kind of like a diagnosis and then a nexus, and then this documenting the severity of symptoms, which used to be DBQs. But now some people are using DBQs. Some people are just writing them all out as independent medical opinions. But yeah, they'll be in that sums it up. That's fair to say. Yeah, that's crazy, right? And you've been watching me. We've been talking back and forth for a long time. So you just realized that you're a Gulf War era veteran till today. Like that's how this stuff hits you. Like there's so much info and so much legal and medical jargon and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, oh wow, I'm a Gulf War veteran too. I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum. I was there. Well, it started. Desert Shield started in August 2nd of 1990. I showed up August 6th, so I showed up basically at the beginning of it, and then obviously went through Desert Storm. But yeah, it never ended. We're Gulf War veterans are still there. So that's just what they call Gulf War veterans, 1990 till right now, 2020. What can stop the med board process? I don't know. But and I don't think anything can be stopped. I mean, the military wants to do something to you. Just using my own example, once they decided to kick me out, I got rid up for all sorts of dumb stuff. But embrace the med board process and go get everything checked out: MRIs, CT scans, mental health evaluations, colonoscopy, get checked for GERD, get everything. So when you are actually out, you can file a good solid claim and launch all your medical conditions because you don't need a nexus because there is no time gap. You're on active duty one day, you file your claim the first day you're a veteran, and that's it. It is all because of active duty, and you're in for however long you're given. That would probably be an accurate way to sum up VA math. I would agree with that. Paratrooper girl, hello. 1200 reasonable for a Nexus? I would say so. It's relative. It's not even what you can afford, because it doesn't matter what you can afford. You need a Nexus letter. It doesn't matter if it's 5 grand. Get it. Quit spending your money on stupid stuff, or whatever. Get that loan from your mom. Like, literally, the $1,200 you spend on your Nexus letter, I would see if there's any strings attached. Like, if it doesn't work, will he redo it for you or something like that? But you need to get these high-end Nexus letters. And to me, it's reasonable. You file your claim, you have your intent to file, you file your claim, prove it, win it, perfect. Get back pay for 6-7 grand. How worth it was $1,200 then? You probably would be paying for multiple Nexus letters at $1,200. Tom has another view. $300 is reasonable. Reasonable is relative, right? So it really depends on what you can come up with. Just kind of remember, general rule of thumb: the lower you pay for something, the cheaper the quality is. Not in every case, just a general rule of thumb. I think 300 is reasonable. In the long run, I heard VA Claims Insider. I paid a hell of a lot more than that for my Nexus letter, but it was money I didn't have. I paid it out of my back pay happily. So getting the Nexus and the result, that's the focus. CCK, for you don't know, is Chisholm Kilpatrick, I think. They're a law firm, and they post a lot of great videos, and their blog is awesome. Great place to learn. And if you need to appeal, I would hit them up. Absolutely. What up, Bill? Hey, Tom. Yep, you're going to need it. Get a doctor, get the Nexus. I'm not even going to show Tom's good. I almost clicked on it. Okay, well, I will click on it because you're right. Tom proved all of his claims without Nexus letters. So it's doable, but this is 3D chess kind of stuff. This is where you're getting the VA to you understand exactly what you're doing, what kind of chess game you're playing with the VA, and you are basically getting the Nexus is explaining the link. If you're getting that link into your medical records, you can get away with it. But I would not recommend doing what Tom's doing for newbies. I would be considered intermediate, and I wouldn't do it. Tom's a pro. There's a lot of other people here, and this is all over the board. But don't let the money hang you up. Nexus letter average 250 to 650. I've seen that, and I've also seen 1,000 to 2,500. I mean, kind of weird. The prices are all over the board because there's no set price. Got to find whatever works. You're gonna have to do your due diligence and find out if there's any kind of guarantees this doctor is going to make. If it doesn't work, which is hard because he's going to charge you for it. What happens if you go in and you watch all my videos about C&P exams, and you go in and you decide to have a brain fart? Your Nexus isn't going to help you if you go fail your C&P exam. So it's kind of there's a lot of factors going in. And then going farther, you have a good Nexus, you nail your C&P exam. What happens if you have a crooked rater? Yep, that is Tom. Whoops. Yeah, you can Google it. You can get Nexus letters from anywhere. Again, VA Claims Insiders, who I use, they're in Texas. That's just off the top of my head, somebody that you can go with. Hello, Sonia. And this is the exact point that I'm going to, well, it's not the exact point, but you're trying to establish an intermediate step to service-connected sleep apnea. So you're filing sleep apnea secondary to something else, and the intermediate step is the meds that are causing you to gain weight. this is where the Nexus really comes into play because it needs to be spelled out. It's so complicated that you might not even understand it. Learn it as well as you can, but it's really not for you. The doctor needs to spell it out so the C&P examiner understands it and the VA rater understands it. Not sure what that is. Okay. Moving on. Never used the Nexus letter. No clue what that is. I'm at 90%. Cool. I have some good advice for you. Start learning now. You're at 90%. It ain't going to get any easier, and you're going to need a Nexus letter. Totally possible to get to 90% without one. And you don't need one in all cases. I'm just saying this is kind of I kind of do this like, VA claims for newbies. I just consider myself just over the intermediate mark myself because I've only been doing this for a year and a half, and I don't understand all this legal stuff and jargon and how to add up VA math and all that stuff. But I'm learning, and I learn. I'm a quick study, and I'm getting it. And the main point is for me to just get you guys thinking. So if you don't need a Nexus letter and it hasn't worked, I guarantee you're at 90%, you're going to need it. And yes, VA Claims Insider has the hack. Would I be able to link migraines to tinnitus if I filed a regular claim and got denied? So you already got denied? Well, regardless, you're going to need a Nexus. Unknown. I don't know any. Google it. There's lots of doctors out there. Google Nexus letter for veterans. Tons of them will pop up. I'm getting stuck. Hey, Terry. Late is better than never. What's up, Alex? All right, let's see if I can hop over to this other document here. Should we do a Clyde check? Yeah, I'm not feeding him Minties. Also, I left you a message, Sonia, on one of the comments, just a FYI. Love to talk to you if you want to talk. You seem like you know what you're doing. I love your energy, regardless of if we ever talk or not. Okay, why is this thing? I have 2 boxes going on again. Sorry, guys. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're going to go over medical opinion regarding gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is GERD, and it's actually rated under hiatal hernia. So this is a combo of some info and like a sample Nexus letter. So this could be something that I'll put this in the comments. This could be something that you could use, especially for a GERD claim, as an example. But this is the kind of stuff that you need to look at if you're going to try to get your private doctor to do the Nexus for you. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you're going to need to have. So note, for medical opinion and Nexus formulation purposes and establishment of reasonable medical certainty, according to the Code of Federal Regulations upheld by the BVA Administrative Law Judge, the following terminology and definitions were recognized and utilized. This is how they talk. Is due to means it's 100% probability. Is more likely than not. That is a greater than 50% probability. Is at least as likely as not. It's a 50-50 probability, and that is also consistent with reasonable doubt. And that is the one that you are looking for. Any three of these would be good, solid statements. They need to be in the Nexus letter or statement. I know that's confusing. It's literally like a paragraph, but this verbiage is in there. If this verbiage isn't in there, you're done. You don't have a Nexus. So the first three are good. The most common one is at least as likely as not. That's just the most common one. The doctor's not going out on a limb for you. He's just saying, hey, the migraines that this veteran is currently suffering from is connected to his service-connected tinnitus on a at least as likely as not basis. 50-50 chance, 50-50 probability. 50-50 means tie goes to the veteran. The ones that will not help you, and you may have seen this in a denial letter, is not as likely as is not at least as likely as not. It's less than a 50% probability. That'll sink your claim in 5 seconds. And is not due to. That one's actually rare because the doctor doesn't need to, the CNP examiner doesn't even need to sink you that bad. He just needs to say, is not at least as likely as not. Rationale, as below, are based on complete review of the C file to include the following. And this rationale is exactly what your doctor needs to do. He needs to review your claims file. And he needs to review the following things: military service medical records, personal records, claims file, civilian medical records, documentation and progress notes to include physical exams, diagnostic impressions, radiology study reports, lab studies, C-file paperwork, VARO correspondence, veteran lay statements, previous CNP exams, clinical expertise and experience, and medical literature review. Like, the doctor actually needs to put effort into this. This is why I'm saying some of these things take a couple hours to write up, and they're getting paid from Medicare to see you for 15 minutes. So it's kind of tough to get your doctor to do it. So I'm going to go back to full screen here and go back to some questions. Again, please hit the share, subscribe, and hit the bell. What up, Rick? 100% somatic symptom disorder. Good job, homeboy. Filed a sleep apnea claim without a Nexus today. You feel naked. Sucks. Yeah, I've been there. You filed a loser. Basically, you've been around too. That sucks that you filed a sleep apnea claim without a Nexus. I know you've been around my channel for a while. I've had to at least say don't do that. But you're going to get it denied, most likely, and it's going to take 7 months. And then you can decide if you want to appeal it. Don't appeal it. You're not going to win it. You didn't even use a Nexus. There's no logical link. So, but the cool part is that you can start working on your next claim and get a Nexus this time. Sorry for the tough luck, hard facts news or whatever. That's why. I had a feeling there was something about you. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your contributions to our community here. You're all over it. Do you need a Nexus letter if you're seeing a VA doctor? Absolutely. If you're seeing a VA doctor, I suggest you go see a real doctor. And if they say you need to have surgery, make sure they don't saw off the wrong body part. VA doctors are not here to help you. They do not care about you. They care about retiring. Yeah, absolutely. VA doctors downplay, lowball, lie, all of the above. VA doctors suck. Yep. Super chat's good way to go, but I'm doing pretty good in the questions. VA healthcare has no connections to VBA. The VHA is a complete, that's your treating physician. There's no link, nothing, they don't talk to the Veterans Benefits Administration. It sounds completely retarded and backwards, and it is. And I think it's like that uh, for a reason and on purpose. And it's never going to fix until we get the wrong people out of office and get the right people in office and get the VA to work to help veterans, one, and work together. It's just ridiculous that the VHA doesn't talk to the VBA. So, yes, you need a Nexus. Oh, okay, so you did get a VA lawyer for the last hump. Good move. And I didn't mean to give you a hard time there, um, but cool. You got to 90%. The going's gonna get tough. Perfect. Get a lawyer involved. That works. Get it done. Why are doctors so reluctant, scared to write Nexus letters for vets? If they're VA doctors, they have this thing where they're either too lazy or it's like a conflict of interest, which makes no sense. And then on the private side, like your private doctor, he doesn't get paid to write Nexus letters. Like he's, got to practice and he's got his HIPAA compliance and whatever, right? He's got to make money. So you're like, hey, can you write this Nexus letter thing, something you've never heard about before? Like he's going to have to sit there and figure out what it is in VA special little language, at least as likely as not. Like, yeah, I'm not going to spend like 6 hours writing you a Nexus letter, dude. Sorry. Not saying it doesn't happen, just saying it's possible. Yep, I agree. Prestige Worldwide Medical Consulting. Leah Buckholtz. Awesome Nexus letters. Cool. When I hit the lotto, I guess I have to play it first. But good. I appreciate that you appreciate me. Appreciate me. What sucks, me or the VA? If it's me, you can hit a thumb down and go watch something else. You guess I have a great VA doctor? Yeah, if you have a VA doctor that wrote you a Nexus for IBS, you do have a great doctor. Absolutely, it's rare. To Rick's point. Yep. Okay, we're gonna leave this. I'm gonna take a quick little break and put Clyde on here. All right, let's hop over to the this screen share and keep walking through this. So this is a actual nexus for GERD, aka hiatal hernia. It is at least as likely as not a 50, and then they even spell that out, which is funny. In case VA Raider, you don't know what at least as likely as not means. It's a 50-50 probability that the veteran's current GERD is secondary to, related to, and or aggravated by her service-connected right knee status post-anterior cruciate ligament repair with status post-meniscus repair, left foot plantar fasciitis, right foot plantar fasciitis, extensor hallucis, I don't know how to say that, tendonitis. So she has a lot of orthopedic conditions and blah 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 pain syndrome with chronic NSAID, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, I think. So this is the medical opinion. This veteran's GERD is a result of all the Motrin stuff she was taking for all these service connected things. So she's got a lot of service connected stuff on here, obviously. No doubt, I'm sure it's lowball rating stuff. Rationale. So this doctor is putting the rationale in here and explaining it, just in case the VA rater can't find it. So this veteran is seeking service connection for GERD as secondary to, right, chronic NSAID usage. This veteran has a current formal diagnosis of GERD per the esophageal conditions, including reflux disease, hiatal hernia. That's what they actually call it. So he's calling out everything in case you are missing hiatal hernia or GERD. He spells it all out. And then he's like, yeah, this is per the disability benefits questionnaire completed on August 14th, 2019. The veteran reports the classic symptomatology of the disease, including epigastric distress, pyrosis, which is heartburn, regurgitation of food from the stomach up into the esophagus, dysphagia, painful swallowing. Sorry, I'm not a doctor. I don't know all these legal things. To treat this condition, the veteran currently takes famotidine twice, over-the-counter Tums. I'm not going to go into this one too much, but just kind of this is him referring to the veteran's statement and agreeing with it. Now we're getting into the pathopsychology of GERD. And I'm just going to kind of scroll through. Basically, I believe it's because of GERD, also called hiatal hernia. This is what it is. This is what it's secondary to. All this list. And you can see the copy paste going on here. Like all these things. And you just keep sticking them onto. The goal of a GERD claim as a secondary condition is to get it service connected. So out of all these tears and rips and tendonitis and strains and problems, pick one or five, just hook it onto one. It's a common practice in a Nexus letter for a doctor to link it onto every single existing condition that may cause the secondary condition, in this case, GERD. Medical literature. So he's explaining how medical literature establishes a Nexus link and spells it out. And then he's got a little star 8, I think, right? See attached medical literature below. He's not quoting, a little bit of law kind of stuff. So now we're going into NSAIDs. The NSAIDs do this, and there's a history of this happening and that happening, right? So then he comes up with a summary and conclusion. You're seeing this probably didn't take like 5 minutes to write. So therefore, per below, evidence of consideration in this medical opinion by a qualified doctor that is able to make this medical opinion, because you, the veteran, are not, because you're a layman veteran and you don't have MD after you. It is at least as likely as not that the veteran's GERD is secondary to, right? So he's saying it twice. He's putting the Nexus statement in there twice in this particular one. Then I use this example because it's like, it's way overkill, but overkill is good. You got to think about, what's a Nexus letter? Why are some 1,200 and why are some 350? Well, you got a doctor. I don't know what doctors make per hour. This doctor spent a lot of hours on this one. He's pointing out the 38 CFR, which is the law, a thorough review of service and civilian medical records. Have you ever tried to do a thorough review of your blue button medical report over 3 months, depending on how much you've been going? That could take you hours. Same thing with the doctor here. Lists out all the things. Then he goes on to post some some medical journal, periodical, peer report kind of stuff. And he's explaining the difference or explaining how common it is. Current approaches to prevent NSAID induced gastro, whatever, right? He's explaining, he's using medical peer reviews to explain the link between NSAID use and GERD. And it looks like he's got a couple of them. Looks like he's got a infographic in here as well that he busted out in PowerPoint. I think it's pretty sweet. And it's just like, this is going to go into your medical records. And again, I'm going to download it because I'm not going to read every single thing on here. But blah, 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 findings, another report, objectives, findings. I think there's about 3 of them in here. Yep, that's the end of it. So this is what I would consider to be a thorough Nexus. It's got all the components, the doctor's weighing in with his opinion, and then he's explaining the likelihood, at least as likely as not, and he mentions it a couple times. And then he is saying she's got all these conditions that are service connected. She's taken Tums and Motrin and, you know, all these NSAIDs. And not only do I say that that's the cause, here's some other medical reports and journals, and here's my conclusion. Pair. All right, let's go back over to Clyde. Boy. I'm just reading through some comments here. That's a good question. Does SMC S1 come automatically if one qualifying disability is 100 and another is at 60? No, nothing comes automatically. And just to drive this home a little bit more, we're all veterans in here. I'm assuming we got to be all veterans. Most of us are. Maybe we're, well, if you're a spouse of a veteran and you're educating yourself, you're a veteran too, because you're dealing with a veteran, right? So nothing comes automatically, because if anything came automatically, we would automatically get the compensation that we deserve. They would make the link and say, this veteran was in combat. We need to thoroughly check him out for mental health issues because he's got them. But no, it's not automatic. I don't think so. It's up to you how you want to deal with your claims. But after you get up to 100% TDIU or scheduler, when you file a new claim, you open up every aspect of your claim and they can go in and reduce you. So for me, it's just not worth it. For you, it might, might be worth it to do that, but just kind of on the face of it, you're getting paid at 100%. Enjoy that. I guarantee you, you're not going to enjoy when your $3,100 gets reduced back down to $1,200. That's going to suck. Yes, PAs are considered medical professionals. PAs, nurse practitioners, they're the ones conducting CNP exams as well. Yeah, and Derek, good point, right? It's a good learning experience. It's a good subject. It's fascinating subject and a good read. And, this is going to affect you for the rest of your life. So learn about it, educate yourself. I promise you, at the end of all this, whatever you walk away with, whatever your education is, however smart you are learning this stuff, it will be a good learning experience. Absolutely. It's funny that you say that because I just talked to mine today, and I found a chiropractor and he adjusts my neck. I had neck surgery. So I've been to lots of chiropractors. Go in, pay my $50 or whatever. And this guy adjusted my neck with fusion. And I was like, damn, this is my kind of chiropractor. It's no big deal. He's just not, he's not adjusting the joints that are fused together. But yeah, I got my new VA going, and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't do chiropractors. We want you to come to physical therapy. It's going to hurt. And I'm like, I'm going to last about 5 seconds in there. I'll see you in my first appointment, and then I'm going to berate you probably. Right on, Josh. Yeah, send friends your videos. I appreciate all the love that you guys send out. And I know these videos get kind of long. This one's already 51 minutes. But these Q&A things are just kind of off the fly things. So come in. I'm not answering all questions, but I try to answer as many as possible, and you just can't get a different perspective. It's so hard to explain. Somebody asks a question about something that has nothing to do with the disability you have in mind, but the approach and the mechanics of it are very similar. You need this, you need the diagnosis, you need the symptoms, you need to talk about the symptoms, and you need the nexus. So that stuff's consistent. Not sure who's stepping on. I have haters. I must have missed them. Ding, 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 ding. Do I need to put a little infographic up about how to do all that stuff? Yeah, Bill has a good point. It really is best to find a doctor that specializes in VA Nexus letters. Check recommendations. Did this doctor work for you guys? This guy's been doing it for 5 years. What's his win rate? Do research that way, reviews, stuff like that. There's a lot of good Facebook groups for veterans. Yeah, it's like veterans claims, VA claims. Search that in Facebook and join a bunch of groups. You'll learn. Again, it's very similar to this. Questions are asked and answered. Yeah, exactly. If you are 100% PNT or 100% TDIU, do not invite the VA to relook at your claims. If they're in there relooking at your claims, it's just, I just don't see the upside. I see a lot of downside. Chronic pain is rateable separately. One that comes to mind is called somatic symptom disorder, and it's a mental health disorder. My chronic pain was actually converted into a chronic fatigue syndrome. So yes, they will deal with pain on movement and pain, but there's other secondaries you can file to address it and get paid better. That's probably one I wouldn't do. I wouldn't worry about that one, Valerie. You should keep your own personal statement and your buddy letters short, but you're not really going to. I don't think there's a winning amount of pages for a Nexus letter. It's a doctor. It's considered high quality medical evidence, and if it takes him 200 pages to make his point, you're going to be able to fight that wherever you need to fight it to. Yeah, that Dr. Lawrence guy, Wilkie, but those guys are just pawns. Congress needs to change VA math, and it's not going to get changed. Uh, I'd like to. Maybe we could sit here and change VA math. That would be awesome. But until then, it's going to make no sense. Okay, 55 minutes. This is the 2-minute warning mark. This will be converted into a video in about a half hour. So if you're watching the replay, please ask your question. I try to answer all questions with some kind of response. and appreciate you coming out and spending time with me tonight. And instead of a 2-minute warning, I think, well, we got one more question. Let's see. Can a neurology radiologist provide an IMO for chronic fatigue syndrome? Unknown. I know a rheumatologist can. Good question. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can help you with the answer to that one. Coming at the tail end. Scheduler. That is when the math adds up to 100. 90 plus 90 plus 80 plus whatever ends up being 410% if you use regular math. But it's 100 scheduler. Scheduler is VA math. And yeah, it's retarded. All right, guys. I'll probably see you tomorrow. You guys have a good night.